So this afternoon, I am so excited to introduce and to get started working with a brand new sponsor, Garden Tower Project. You guys should absolutely check them out. Posted their link below this video as well as on our sponsors page. Really amazing company working to make sustainable food growing, vegetable, fruit, flower growing accessible to pretty much anyone in small spaces. Pretty perfect for our situation. So their brand new Garden Tower 2, which I will be putting together this afternoon, allows you to grow up to 50 different plants within a 4 square foot footprint. There's vermicomposting in the middle, which is composting kitchen scraps, yard scraps, cardboard, with the help of worms. That creates really rich compost, which then feeds the garden tower, which is vertically stacked rings. It'll be more obvious as I put it together, but vertically stacked rings, each of which holds a variety of up to 10, I believe, 9 or 10 plants. Fill it all up, and then these plants share nutrients, and they pull the nutrients from the compost in the center, end up with a really amazing sustainable system for sustainable food growing, which I am all about. We are all about. So excited to be working with these guys, and we are psyched to get this garden tower up and running today. Already got a bunch of vegetables all over town, vegetables and herbs. I'm gonna fill out this garden tower, get it growing, and have a sustainable source of our greens. So this is the box. This is how it came. Kind of this octagonal shape. And these are going to be the rings which the plants will be coming out of. Some of the pieces of the central tube are in there. I'm gonna be pulling this all out, putting it together, but just giving you a sense. Comes in this really compact, light box. All of these components are UV resistant, they're food safe, really sturdy, chemical grade. So yeah, just great, rugged, durable for outdoor use. You can also grow these inside. Check out their website for more information on that. So here's everything out of the box. We have 5 loose rings, which are these guys right here. We have 6 compost tube sections right there and a screen. We have the base right here, which has all these bearings inside. The whole thing is going to be able to spin, which is really amazing. Be able to access all the plants as well as rotate for best light. And finally, this drawer, which I pulled out already, fits in like this. This is designed to pull out, and there are some zip ties, which I will show the use for, and the feet with which it's going to stand. So gonna move these guys across the yard to where we are actually gonna have our garden tower set up, and we'll keep going. So here we are, a slightly sunnier location. You want to plant this in the part of your available space that gets the most sun for optimal growth. That being said, it does depend on what you're planting. If you're planting all shade-loving plants, probably want it in the shade. But for what we're growing, we would prefer a little more sunlight. So we set this guy up on just some pavers. Can easily get those at Home Depot or your favorite home improvement store. And right now I have this oriented so the drawer has easy access right there. But really you can just walk around the whole thing. Just put on these feet, which are designed to just fit right in, and you don't want to test fit them. They're designed to just go in and stay in. So got that all set up. So the next step is just easily slotting in the drawer and the screen. And the screen goes right above the drawer. You want these little teeth to be pointing upwards. So these instructions come with your garden tower too. A whole really great set of instructions, super easy to follow, but essentially it's going to be a little hard for me to video all of this, but this is the pattern that we're going to be working with now to set it all up. So essentially we're going to have a perforated compost tube section right on top of that base ring, and then move our way upwards. So that's the first perforated ring, and perforated compost tube section. And then we just start stacking ring, compost tube section, ring, tube section, all the way up through the top. So I'm gonna go head out and do that, and we'll show you what it looks like after that. Well, as promised by the instructions, this was one of the easiest installs I've ever done. Everything worked exactly as expected. Everything's designed really well. Just pay attention when you're putting things together to match the slots that are pretty obvious. Very intuitive system. So here we just have all our rings stacked up, and all those holes you see are actually the spots where the plants are going to grow. And so all of the roots will be interconnected, so it is really important to consider what plants you're planting near each other. Obviously all of the roots are going to be pretty interconnected. It's a very compact system, but you do want to pay special attention to plants kind of right near each other in a ring. So Garden Tower Project website is awesome, has so many resources for those of us who may not have had this scale of compact vegetable / herb growing before. Gives some lists of compatible companion growing plants, as well as things to avoid putting near each other. You can also, they have recently added a virtual plant planner, so you can actually plan out your whole system before you plant it, which I did. We'll see how that actually matches up with what I decide to do. But yeah, here we go. Next step is going to be to secure this inner compost tube, which goes all the way down. That's where little wormies will hang out with the vegetable and kitchen scraps. And we're going to secure this to the side just to make sure. It says it's optional in the instructions, but I would highly recommend doing that. So the goal here is just to take these black zip ties, pretty standard, but they came with the garden tower. You don't need to buy them separate or anything. And we're just gonna match these center holes in the compost tube with these holes out here. And they work in pairs. So we're gonna do kind of 1, 2, skip a spot, 1, 2, skip a spot, 1, 2. So 6 zip ties in pairs around, and just make sure that we keep this central tube central. So we are in and secure. Pretty easy to get those zip ties on, and just make sure you tighten them kind of one at a time, evenly, all the way around in pairs. And yeah, so ready to get this guy filled up with soil. The process for soil, first off, so you're going to need about 6 cubic feet of soil, and you want to use potting soil, preferably organic if you are able to do that. But potting soil and something a little lighter, fluffier, not the really dense soil you'd normally see for vegetables. The compost is going to add all of those nutrients, and you actually need kind of a lighter soil that has more air incorporated in order to get the best growth. So you're going to want some potting soil, about 6 cubic feet. And the plan here is to pour in about 1 bag, so about 2 cubic feet, 1/3 of the amount, and then add a bunch of water. And all of this is detailed in the instructions, but yeah, so add about 1/3 of the soil, add some water, add the rest of the soil, and get your plants in there. So here we have it, a fully assembled Garden Tower 2 ready for planting. I brought over all of the plants I have so far. This thing can accommodate 50 plants, so I didn't know what to do with 50 plants. So went a little crazy, got kind of all of our favorite vegetables and herbs. Got a couple of seeds. You can work with starters or seeds. It is recommended, especially you could start earlier with some seeds, plant them inside in little flat trays, get them to the point where they are seedlings. We're coming at this a little late in the game, and so I'm probably going to plant just directly in there. If there's even space, gonna get all these guys in first. Yeah, so essentially you can find some recommendations on the Garden Tower Project website, but you kind of want to work from the bottom up and start with the largest mature plant and work your way up. Things that get really big, don't want them overshadowing plants that need a lot more light. So yeah, lots of recommendations on the website of what to plant where. So I grabbed my computer and I had made myself one of those custom design little sheets saying what I'm going to plant where. So I'm going to pull that up, start working off of it, and get these guys in where they should be. Well, that was super fun. Really enjoyed putting that together. I am a big gardener, and this was one of the most fun planting experiences I've had. Just getting to be creative within the bounds of having things work, but getting to design this whole system, and if it's an amazing number of plants. 50 plants is a lot of plants. I was not expecting everything to fit, and I do have a couple leftovers, but it's kind of more by choice. Decided I didn't actually want a couple of them in there, but so fun. I'd say the one thing, it is a little tricky, the pockets. If you have larger hands, it's a little difficult. If you start with the existing plants, rather than seeds, if you use like starters, you buy it at the garden center or whatever, it's great because they're already growing. They'll fill in a lot faster, but it was a little tricky to get them in there. I had to kind of pull out some of the soil and put it in another pocket or up on top, and then kind of press them in, but I mean, not really an issue. Just something to be mindful of. But yeah, that was awesome. I'm so psyched to see how this thing starts to really fill in. So here we have it. Given that this tower is up and running, I might head down and get some worms tonight to start the vermicomposting. Have some clippings or, I don't know, dead stuff that came off the plants when I was planting them. It can be the start of the green waste, and you actually want to keep about a 1-to-3 ratio of green waste. That can include plant bits or kitchen scraps. About a 1-to-3 green to brown, which brown would just be like cardboard, or you can use like wood shavings, husks, things like that. Have a bunch of cardboard and have some green scraps. I think I can get our worms started, which would be awesome. So gotta make sure getting the right variety. All the information on that is on the Garden Tower Project website, but you should be able to get what you need at any bait shop or any place that sells bait. Yeah, worms are pretty awesome. I'm pretty into them. Some people think they're gross. I think they're amazing. So yeah, really psyched on that. The one last piece I do need to do, gonna build a little fence around this. Talking to the guys at Garden Tower Project, they said if you are in an area where there's potential for critters, you do want to protect this because they will snack on it. I know we have deer up here and rabbits and I don't even know what else. So definitely going to build a little fence. I also got some organic kind of critter deterrent you can just sprinkle around. You don't really want to put it on the plants because you want to eat them. But probably going to put up that little fence and then make a little circle around it and hopefully deter the deer / rabbits / horses. I don't know. Yeah, so probably going to do that quickly, but that shouldn't be too difficult. And then go ahead downtown, get some worms. And then plant the beans tomorrow after they've been soaked, and this guy's ready to go. This thing is awesome. Can't even tell you how psyched we are to be working with Garden Tower Project, and we will absolutely keep you posted on the growth and give you some daily updates.